Hello. All right, what are we doing today, guys? Yes, as promised, Dimensions Kit Parade. Here we go. They're loosely in order. What's the order? Well, things that I feel go together. So let me just start off by saying, yes, this collection is ridiculous. In my defense, I bought some of these, honestly, before I knew about cross-stitching, you know, just at like the big box stores, like Michael's, Joann's. Don't say And back then I thought, oh, I could just, you know, get this done in a week. LOL, you know? Now I've got this like big collection and I have barely anything finished. So the other ones, a lot of my collection is from eBay. Some I found really good deals for, others I paid dearly for. So here we go. Well, most of these from my first pile are from this sweet lady who said that she was a longtime cross-stitcher, but she just couldn't do it with her eyes anymore. She couldn't do such small fabrics. So a few of these are previously loved. She opened them up. Some of them she even gridded. Like, all right, I'll certainly use the head start. This is the first one. Well, the glare shouldn't be too bad. Okay. This is Winter Retreat, as you can read. I think this one is underrated. I really never see anybody talking about this one. And yeah, she wrote laundry area. That wasn't me. I think the background is so interesting because it's almost like sepia tone. And it really, I think it gives a really interesting effect. Okay, I can't talk this long about all of them. Yeah, they all give an interesting effect. Okay, next up from that same lady on eBay is All Is Calm. This one is an older one that I don't really see done either. Yeah, this is from 1998. It's not old, but that's, you know, an older pattern comparatively to most of what I've been working on. And, you know, all these Dimensions kits are gonna have a ton of, you know, backstitch, a ton of detail work that way, French knots, blends, half stitches, random other specialty stitches like couching and cording. And that's why I like them so much. You can just learn so much from these kits because they come with really good directions too. This is Cabin Fever. I've seen people work on this one. I like to think this is the same cabin from Aurora Cabin, the pattern that I already have started. Nowhere near to being done, but it's the one that has all those lovely French knots that I love so much. There we go. So pretty, so pretty. And I mean, all of these are huge. Like these first three are all 16 by 12 and they're full coverage. This is my first one that is not Dimensions Gold. This is Glory of Autumn. And I know I'm looking in the totally wrong spot. I'm sorry. I need to stop like looking at myself. So this is as I look right back at myself. Sorry guys. If it bothers you, you know what? Smash that thumbs down button. That's just fine with me. That'll teach me, right? I have seen Jessie Marie Does Stuff working on this one. I know she switched out the Ada for linen. And I think she regrets it because it's unpleasant to work on since all of these Dimensions kits have a variety of number of strands of threads. So that would be hard to work on a flimsier fabric. That's why they're all Ada. And oh Lord, I have to sort that. But look at how pretty these colors are. I love this red especially, that's so pretty. I love fall, what can I say? So pretty, oh gosh, that one, This is gonna make me wanna start everything. Next up is another set of ornaments. No, I haven't shown ornaments this video, but I have a set of ornaments on plastic canvas from Dimensions that I have going in my whips. So definitely, maybe I'll start these when I finish those. Wouldn't that be fun? Whoop, there we go. So this is Christmas Village ornaments, and I'll kind of zoom in a little bit on each one. So there's Kringle's Toys, there's Rudolph's Tree Farm, there are 3 houses, and then Noel's Bakery. These are so pretty. They look to me like they're, well, I mean, probably to everyone because they probably are, but they look Victorian. They just look so pretty. So pretty. They're all so pretty. Okay, next up we have Ice Cardinal. I think this is one of the most, I'm just like really struggling if I should put my face in, put this in. I think I'll keep mostly the kits in because that's what we're here to see. Ice Cardinal. I think, you know, as beautiful as this cardinal is, and as much as I like cardinals, the icy branches are just so interesting in this project because it's stitched on black Aida, so, you know, a lot of the background is not stitched. That might be why it's not Dimensions Gold, it's just normal Dimensions collection. Not sure. But gosh, I mean, that is what icy branches look like. That looks so realistic. This is like photorealistic stitching. That's so interesting, and that's really hard to achieve when it's not full coverage. Super cool. Oh yeah, I think we're into the Christmassy pile, if you didn't notice. So this next one is a stocking, and it is, so my husband and I lived together before we got married. Yes, get over it. It's 2021. And I got into cross stitching shortly after we moved in together. So when this was coming in the mail, I warned him, you know, don't freak out and run out of our home screaming because I'm like jumping the gun here, but I bought a stocking that I would like to stitch for a future child one day. Flash forward, we don't have kids yet. This is still like waiting in the wings. But anyway, when this came, my husband, who was simply my boyfriend back then, literally lost his mind over it and was like, no, stitch this for me. I want this to be my stocking. It's so cute. But I told him, this is a stocking for a baby. What are you talking about? So I did start one for him. I didn't show it in my whip parade because it's kind of a puny little start, but you guys will see it one of these days. So anyway, more cardinals, super cute. The Aida for this one is this light icy blue. So a lot of this background isn't stitched either. Well, I mean, come on, there's still a ton, like all this white is stitched, all this white is stitched up here. Like, I'm not trying to underestimate this one, but at least it's not completely full coverage. So adorable. Okay, this next one, I actually have started. I just didn't show it in my whip parade, but here you go. So this is in a very fancy project bag. Yep, my work Crocs came in here. But, you know, this is a big bag. Okay, sorry for all the crinkling. Some people like that, you know. So this is Sleigh Ride Tree Skirt. Can't wait to have a tree skirt. Right now I just have a little tiny apartment-sized Christmas tree. But maybe, maybe by the time I have a big Christmas tree, I will have a Christmas tree skirt. Because last Christmas, and the Christmas before that, I just wrapped one of my scarves around the base of the Christmas tree and said, yep, good enough. So I do have this one started, and this fabric is huge, huge, huge. Like, it's still folded up several folds. but it is 11 count. And here we go. I started in the middle, and this one is another one where a lot of the background is not stitched. You know, there's a lot of snow, and oh my gosh, it's so hard to wrangle this. Get where you're supposed to be. I mean, I think this looks incredible, but the you know, the mix of half crosses, full crosses, and then just empty background, it just, how many times can I say it? It just gives so much dimension and depth. And I was a good girl. Check it out. I've been back stitching as I go. Who am I? Wow. I haven't been doing that lately. Okay, this one's probably just gonna go on the floor, but ooh, let me just show you how I wrangle my flosses. This is not the best example. Neither is that one, but this is real life. So I leave them on these cards, and then okay, don't look at these hanging ones. I'll explain those in a moment, but I just braid them all together, and then you can just take your needle and pull out as many strands as you need and just kind of pull them out and, you know, tighten up the braid as needed. And then I take a hole punch, and so, you know, for example, I only did a few stitches in orange, like for the snowman's noses. So then I take a hole punch and just loop my threads that I didn't use back around. And because I am such a, I'm like Scrooge McDuck or whatever, scrimping away, I always have a ton of threads left over in, oh, you know, the like 2 projects that I've finished. No, okay, I finished maybe like 6 to 8 projects, and I always have so much floss left over. So, I mean, if I have like a few inches of floss left, you better believe it is going back on the cardstock, and I will use it later, okay? And then, you know, there's another one. And these, I mean, they look horrible, but they're really not that bad. I don't know. You know, they're separated from the braid, and they don't tangle. And then with Dimensions kits, you always get extras, and y'all are gonna flip when you see how much, oops, sneak peek. This is a thick braid. I wish my braid on my head was this thick. Like, I wish my hair was that thick. Wow. Because it's on 11 count and it's a huge project. So I like to see the way people organize their threads and projects. And I abominate some threads. You know, I like floss cards too. I kind of just go where the wind blows me when it comes to floss organization. I've tried it all. And I don't know, I like them all. I think I'll keep doing willy-nilly, all kinds of different organizational styles. So next up I have 2 Petites, my only 2 Petites. This one, unfortunately, I don't know what it's called because this is one I bought online, and the girl said that she was really sorry she took the needle out, so she sent me a needle. Like, that's so nice. Unnecessary, but super nice. And I'm just gonna leave it on there. I'm not gonna look to see which one this is. Sorry, it's number 6929. This one I was attracted to because look how intricate this lace detail is. And a lot of the time that effect is achieved with couching, which is, if you're not aware, you kind of get a few strands of floss threaded through your needle, and then with another needle with just one strand of floss of the same color, you set the thicker strands on your fabric where it's supposed to go, and then you just kind of tack it down so that you can get kind of more rounded back stitch than if you were to back stitch and you would have to follow a grid. But this is not couching. This is crosses and French knots and creative backstitch. Okay, maybe the tiniest bit of couching, perhaps. Stay tuned, we'll find out together if I ever start all of these. Yeah, I really like this one. well, I don't even know if it's older because, oh yeah, it's from 2002, but I still think this one's really pretty. Okay, next up we're moving on to, well, actually not quite yet, whatever. We've got two random fancy ladies, and then we're gonna go through randoms, and then we're gonna end with more fancy ladies. So this is my only other petite. It is Twilight Angel, and this one is so pretty. This one you can find easily. Don't pay more than 12 bucks for this one, okay? Pinky promise me you won't, because this one you can find easily. It's always, always, always online. If not on eBay, I think you might still be able to find it like on 123 Stitch or whatever. So I like this one because of all the little embellishments, like this treasure and a star. And I'm pretty sure that this is an example of cording. This gold thread, see how round it is? That's definitely not backstitch. Get real. It would be much more angular. And then, gosh, I think these are sequins with a bead on top and then beads. So pretty. And this is her big sister, Celestial Angel. I think it's interesting that the artists of these two, like, source material are different people. I don't want to accuse anybody of anything, but like, what? They're wearing the same dress. Maybe they shop at the same store. So next up is Northern Night. This is a companion piece to Aurora Cabin, which I already have on the go, so I absolutely cannot start this until I have that done. I'm sorry for the glare, y'all. I'm trying to use natural sunlight because that's like the best light, but you might be able to see out my window, so sorry. This one's got a ton of French knots, and gosh, Aurora Borealis is so pretty. So pretty. And I wasn't gonna say this because it is the internet, but this is literally the second biggest town in my state, so I think I can say it. I live in Aurora, Illinois. Yes, like Wayne's World. And I just extra love all these Aurora Borealis patterns. So pretty. And when I started Aurora Cabin, I figured that I would always remember stitching it living in my apartment in Aurora because, you know, I'm not gonna live here forever. This is just where my first apartment is. So I think I'll always remember that when I see all these Aurora pieces. Next up is Winter Cabin. And I like to think that is also the same cabin from the Aurora Cabin kit. Gosh, how many times can I say Aurora and Cabin? But this one's so pretty and so Christmassy. And I like the ones that are big blocky stitching. I don't love stitching like that, but I like how quickly you can get large portions of stitching done. But oh my god, I love these ones that are, sorry, I am just a wiggle worm. I'm moving all over the place. I love all these fiddly little details like that little cardinal and little tiny Christmas tree. And the water is so beautiful. Oh my gosh, I never noticed that you can see the reflections of the deer in there. That's incredible. Oh my gosh, how am I gonna keep my paws out of all of these? I need to get some finishes so I can have some starts. Next up is Sunlit Fox. I've seen people stitch this one, and even though I'm not like the hugest fan of the color brown, when I've seen people completed, you know, finishes of this, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry for the glare. I think that the leaves just look incredible. It's another one where the finished item often has an almost photorealistic effect too. Again, it's on Black Ada. I don't know how they do it, but it seriously looks like a photograph when it's done. Just, they really captured like light source and all those art words that I don't know, but I think that one's gonna be super pretty. Oh, it doesn't look like it has that incredible amount of back stitch that most Dimensions projects have either, so bonus. This one, whew, I got wildly excited when I saw this on eBay for $35. You know, I didn't even bother with add to cart. I think I just checked out because I had never seen it online for less than $100. I since found out this has been reprinted, but whatever. I paid like MSRP for it, and that doesn't take away from being excited that I have it. But I mean, I had been watching this one online for probably like a year and been just like, oh my gosh, like I'm not paying $100 for this kit, but I like it a lot. So this is one of my proudest finds, even though I since found out that it's not that rare anymore, but it's so beautiful. I saw cross stitch with Luda. She recently finished this in the last year, and it was just so beautiful. And speaking of couching, all this gold around the leaves on the border is couching, and this one's so pretty. I haven't ever seen another Dimensions gold collection that looks, you know, this is a sampler, really. Maybe it's not, but it has that look to me. I don't know what makes a sampler, but looks like one to me. Maybe I'll start this for Sampler September. Maybe. I could talk myself into it. Next up is Peonies and Delphiniums. This one I got from that bundle from that older woman. I don't think that I would have bought this individually, but now that I have it, I really like it. The vase, I can't take my eyes off of it when I look at this. That just really looks like a real vase with water in it. It's incredible how they can capture that in cross stitch. And it's like, yeah, you know, the flowers are super beautiful, and that's the focal point of this. But man, look at the vase. Wow. All right. This is another one that I'm super, I don't know, I don't want to say proud of myself, but I'm super impressed that I could get this. I got this one for sticker price, like 35 bucks. This one's from 2002. It's like, you can't find this online really. And if you do, it's outrageously like price gauging, whatever it is. This, excuse me. This is Magnificent Wizard. And I know I'm just name dropping away here. Creativity by Gidge. I think she started this when it like was a new kit, and she's almost done with it now. Obviously she's been picking it up, putting it down, but seeing her finish, I knew I had to get this when I saw it for an actually reasonable price. Super cool. Okay, these next ones are, I'm sorry you're gonna hear project bags, because this is another one that I have started, and this is In Her Garden. Super pretty. This is another really good example of like couching and cording and stuff, because that seriously looks like a shawl. That's really, really wild that they were able to create that effect. Like, look at the texture. Not to mention how realistic those roses look, and all the rest of the flowers too. I mean, I'm a big fan of like fiddly little color changes, so it's the kit for me. This one I have started, as I mentioned, but I didn't show it in my whip parade because, again, not very much progress on it. And I was kind of, you know, I try out different ways to store my floss. I try out different ways that I like to stitch. This one I was parking 10 by 10 and moving up, but now I've realized that doesn't make sense for the way that I stitch. So, I mean, I'll make my way back to it. I wouldn't say this is an active whip, so that's another reason I didn't show it. But anyway, I mean, look how little I have done. And those are clearly, and you know, no back stitching yet, and this is the background, so it's not as detailed as the rest. But like, these are clearly pansies, peonies. These are clearly pansies, like, wow, they did that. And I mean, here's the whole piece of fabric. So, but I'm almost to the top of the bottom left page. Not that that matters, but it's not nothing. It's a start. Okay, sorry for all the fumbling around. So this one is that one's big sister as well. This is a summer stroll. This is another older kit, and this one also has some really interesting textures going on. And I definitely bought this one because of these violet and purple roses. So unique. Very pretty. This is another one that I couldn't believe the deal I found for this one. I paid like $5 more than retail for it. And this one is for some reason just so rare. It's not even very old. It's from 2012, but I never see it online. And when I do, it's for a ridiculous price. I think she looks like Elsa, and I really like the bottom of her dress. It really looks like icy. It looks translucent. And I like the magic. Whatever she's doing there, she's doing some magic. That one's very cool. Oh, what's this one doing in the middle of all the fancy ladies? This is one that I have in a bag, even though I don't have it started, but I want to start it. This is called Dragonfly Pond, and this is one that I really don't see either. It kind of obviously looks like stained glass, and then all of this separation in the color blocks is gold. It's not blending filament. I don't know. It's metallic, so AKA the devil's fiber. It is so freaking difficult to work with. I haven't started it, but I had to put it in a bag because it was like getting out of control and coming out of the like plastic. It's coming out of the plastic here, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna lose it. And that's like the most important part of that kit. So that's why that one's in a bag, because the floss just would not behave. All right, I'm trying to pick up the pace here. This is Woodland Enchantress. This is a companion piece to my fall fairy that I have started. Love that she's doing some magic here too. She's turning it from fall to winter, it appears. So pretty. That one's been charted by Heaven and Earth Designs as well. Art by Ruth Sanderson. Super beautiful. This is another companion piece to both of those ladies. And this is Spring Fairy. And I just love these wings. I mean, wow. Incredible. Incredible. Okay, and now this one is the grand finale. I cannot believe that I have my hands on this kit. I got it maybe a couple weeks ago. This is one I've seen it go. I've never ever seen it listed for less than $150, and I saw it listed for less than half of that. So even though it was, you know, a little pricey, I have been seriously lusting after this kit because it's not necessarily a season. I think it's the summer companion to those fall, winter, spring I didn't show the fall fairy one in this video, but I showed it in my whip parade because I'm working on that one. Anyway, here she is, Fairy Tale. Oh my gosh. Look at these little fairies. And she looks magical as well. And I honestly do not understand why this one is so rare and all the other ones you can find fairly easily. Like, don't overpay for those other three. Wait for a good price because they are not that rare. This one though, you can't find this. You cannot find this anywhere. So I'm sorry, I'm not trying to brag. I'm just incredulous that I have it. I cannot believe it. I've been dreaming of having it. That was my unicorn chart. And when I hear people say that, I don't know, I feel like now that I have it, like, ooh, what's my unicorn chart now? No, that was my unicorn chart. Like, freaking work on that. Stop buying dimensions kits. Stop. Work on these. But anyway, I hope this didn't come off as bragging. I know everybody shows their stash, and I just need to remind myself, I don't know you guys yet, but I'm among friends. You guys are just as excited as I am about this. I love watching stash dives. I love dimensions kits. So I hope I enabled you guys thoroughly, and I will see you guys soon when I have enough progress to share. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to keep up doing weekly uploads, but you know, whatever, you'll see me. I'll be back soon enough. So thanks for watching, guys. Bye.